Wow. Amazing. Growing up, my father and grandfather worked in construction. I remember going on to a really large construction site, and when I walked in, you could see the dust that was in the air. You could hear the pounding of hammers. You could hear the hum of generators. You could see people digging trenches. You could see welders up on beams. And all of this flurry of activity, buzzing with activity and construction all around. Cutting 2x4s, the smell of sweat, the smell of sawdust in the air. But all of these different people had different roles, and they had different jobs, and they had different skills. But they had one vision, they had one blueprint, and they had one goal. And they were unified around this one goal, and that was to build a beautiful hospital that would care for the hurting and the broken. And it was amazing to see all of this hustle and bustle, hundreds of workers all over. It reminds me of Nehemiah chapter 3, this chapter that we're going through. If you're new with us, we're walking through the book of Nehemiah, and Nehemiah is working for the king. He's got a great job. He goes to all the king's parties. The rich, the powerful, the famous, the beautiful are all there. It's the who's who. It's an amazing party. All of these elaborate experiences that he gets a chance to be part of. Eats the king's food. But he hears about what had happened in Jerusalem and how the walls are broken down and the gates are burned with fire. And his heart breaks. His heart breaks not just for broken walls. His heart breaks for broken people. And he's just an ordinary guy. He's not a priest. He's not a giant slayer like King David. He's just an ordinary guy who hears about a problem. And he says, somebody's got to do something. And so he leaves his comfort because impact is more important. And he has to make a decision. Will I stay comfortable and do that which is comfortable to me and makes me feel safe in the king's palace, safe with the king's guard, safe with all the luxuries of living with the king? Or will he leave 1,000 miles to go to a city that has been left in rubble and ruin for 140 days, right? No. 140 weeks, right? No. 140 years. So he sets off. And if you're taking notes on the app, point number 1 is this. It's kind of our anchor thought, and I pray that this would move from your head to your heart. And it's this. God sees what you do, and sometimes he remembers. Is that what it says? God sees what you do, and often he forgets. No. God sees what you do, and he never, everybody say never. He never forgets. Never. Chapter 3 and verse 1, Eliashib, the high priest, and his fellow priest went to work and rebuilt the sheep gate. Now there's also a horse gate in verse 3 and the fish gate. I mean, they're very, very creative in their naming of their gates. The horse gate and the sheep gate. There's even a dung gate. Like, who wants to volunteer for that one? The fish gate, there was rebuilt by Hassanah, or however else you pronounce it. I have no idea. Now, Kevin read all of those names, 38 of them, and we don't care. Can we just be real? We're going to be anyway. We don't care about those names. Why? Because we don't know them. Now, what if your name was in there? What if your name was in the Bible? You'd be like, dude, there's my name. Highlight, circle, like Instagram post, like, dude, I made it in the Bible. And by the way, there's a book being written with your name on it. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But we don't care about Tekoa or Hallowish or all of those really, really hard names to pronounce that Kevin just rocked it. I was like, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to either play the Bible app. I'm not doing it. Kevin's like, I got it. I was like, you the man. Dude, you the man. You got it. He rocked it. 38 names. So many unnamed people, bunches of teams. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt overlooked? I mean, have you ever felt unseen? Like you went above and beyond, and you're like, did it even matter? You've been there, right? Like, did it even matter? I mean, the labor, the sweat, the hours, the intensity at which you put into it, like, does it? People rarely are encouraging. They're too self-focused. There's very few people that actually were like, dude, I saw that. Like, high five. Like, you rocked it. We don't really celebrate people, and really it's a pride issue. Sometimes personality. But in this world that we live in, it's so easy to feel unseen. Like, does it matter? And Nehemiah 3 is a reminder that God saw every single person. He saw their sacrifice. He saw their labor. He knew every name, and God was honored by their sacrifice and their generosity and the fact that they went above and beyond. Listen to me. God is paying attention. God cares about your service. Even if nobody else celebrates what you've done, God sees it. Do you know that in heaven, there are multiple books? There are real books in heaven. Get this. There are real books in heaven. And I pray that your name is written in the Lamb's book of life. You're going to stand before God. He's going to open the book. There are books in heaven. He's going to open the giant book. And is your name in the book of life? Because when you trust Jesus as your Lord and Savior, your name gets written in the Lamb's book of life. You want your name in there. But there are multiple books in heaven being written about you and your story. God is paying attention. Listen to this amazing verse that Jesus said in Mark chapter 9. Jesus says, truly I tell you, like, certainly, truly I tell you, anyone who gives a cup of water in my name because you belong to the Messiah will certainly not lose their reward. Everybody say reward. Will not. So someone finds out that someone has a need, and they run to the well, and they drop the bucket, and they bring the water up, and they pour it in, and they run it back, and they give it to this person over here. Hey, God bless you in Jesus' name. And God says, that simple act, that selfless humility act of service to bless somebody else, God says, you will be rewarded. How many of you save in your 401k or some sort of retirement? Like, that's wise. That's called wisdom. We want to grow that. What about heaven? Jesus says, do not lay up, no, it's not wrong. Do not lay up for yourself treasures in heaven. He's talking about that it's unstable. Moth, rust, it decays. It's temporary. His point is it's temporary. It's not wrong. It's temporary. You should do that. But what he's saying is that I want you guys to remember, and I want you to invest in those things that are eternal. There are rewards in heaven. And newsflash, and people don't like this, not everybody's getting a trophy. That's not nice. You take it up with him. I'm not the creator. God is just. He sees what you do. And it matters. It matters. Every prayer for someone else, selfless prayer, every deed, every service recorded in heaven with your name on it. But if you make it all about you and you don't serve others, and it's all about you, and you're selfish, and you're self-centered, and you're self-consumed, you will miss out. And I don't want you to miss out. They are highly desirable. Fast cars and big screen TVs, and I have no idea. That's some pretty amazing stuff. Rewards. Greg comes in early and sets all this up. Hannah back there running online so people online can experience that. Setup team, greeters, people coming in to make coffee for you. Working back in the kids area. Travis making a giant big spin wheel that's super cool for thousands of people in our community so we can give away prizes. As you give financially, as you sacrifice and you invest in God's church, God sees. It is not unseen. God will not forget. I love this last part. I love this last part of Hebrews chapter 6. It says this: God is not unjust. Hey, other people, maybe yes. Hebrews 6:10. God, He is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown Him. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't show you love. What do you mean you're talking about? God is saying, you've shown me love. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't show you love. Well, let's read it. God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and love you have shown Him as what? As you have helped His people and continue to help them. Let me just try to say it this way. If you want to bless parents, then bless their what? Kids. You want to bless God? Serve His people. Love His people. Because God sees and God doesn't forget. God doesn't forget faithfulness. No, God rewards it. God doesn't forget faithfulness. God rewards it. God rewards it. Hey, friends, let me say this. This life, I know it feels like it. And I know everything's about climbing the ladder and trying to be important, and am I significant, and am I strong enough, pretty enough, talented enough, do I have enough likes, am I important enough, am I valuable enough, am I special, am I unique, do you see me like in this world where we're striving to get recognition? Guys, let's not forget that this is not our home. This is not our home. The Bible talks about earth as a tent awaiting our true palace in heaven. Amazing. God doesn't forget. Number 2, pride blocks purpose. Pride, number 2, fill in the blank. Pride blocks purpose. The men of Tekoa made repairs, but their nobles would not put their shoulders to the work. Ouch. Busted. Forever written in the Bible. They were too proud, too arrogant. Like, that's beneath me. Like, I am so much more important than that. I'm not doing that. So it was beneath me. And listen, in God's upside down kingdom, do you know who the greatest are? Do you know who the greatest in God's kingdom are? The first shall be what? And the greatest among you shall be the servant of all. Upside down kingdom. Greatness isn't defined by how many people you lead, it's how many people that you serve. And what do you do with power? Let's say you're the most powerful person in the room. Your words weigh 1,000 pounds. What do you do with power? What do you do with power? What did Jesus do? It actually says all power was given to Jesus before he goes to the cross. And do you know what he does? He pushes away from the table. He's getting ready to go to the cross to suffer horrifically. He pushes back. He takes a towel and he gets on his knees and he washes the nasty, smelly feet of the disciples. What do you do with power? You leverage your power for other people's gain. You leverage your power to serve and to bless other people. That's what you do with power. And when you live that way, God's going to say, that's my boy, that's my girl, right? Do you see what they just did? Did you see that? Are you kidding? He's jumping in heaven like, dude, that's my boy right there. He didn't make it all about him. He made it about other people. How about you? Do you make it about you? How well do you serve? That's what we want. Greatness. Greatness. Oh, greatness in this upside down kingdom is when I get my eyes off of me and I serve well and I love well. Not like the nobles who wouldn't put their shoulder into it. Number 3, collaboration thrives in diverse gifts. Uziel, or however that is, the goldsmith repaired the next section, and Hananiah, one of the perfume makers who stood next to the dung gate. No. One of the perfume makers made repairs. Wait a minute, you've got goldsmith and perfume makers. These are not bricklayers. No, these are artists. They were artists. They're not construction workers. But what are they doing? They're all partnering together with one vision and one goal and one mission to be part of building something bigger than themselves. And they all unite together. Diverse gifts and talents and abilities to accomplish a dream. Because here's the point, just having a dream or just having a goal doesn't mean that you will accomplish your goal. Having a dream doesn't mean you're going to accomplish your dream. Hope is not a plan. Hope is not a strategy. Just having a dream doesn't mean you will accomplish the dream. Because if you have a big dream and you have no team, if you have a big dream and you have no team, the dream is impossible. If you have a big dream and a bad team where there's disunity and there's fighting and there's infighting and there's division and there's suspicion, a big dream and a bad team, oh, that's a nightmare. Train wreck. That's why we need to be unified. But a big dream and a good team that's unified and rowing in the same direction, and we're all like, hey, dude, I got this wall, and I got this, and I got this, and I got this. Oh, my. The dream is unstoppable. Unstoppable. Number 4, collaboration begins at home. Shalom repaired the next section with the help of his daughters. I love this, that Shalom pulls his family together and say, hey kids, you have an opportunity to serve and bless other people. Do you know what he's doing? He's modeling for his children servant leadership. He's modeling for his children thinking about other people in a self-centered, self-obsessed world where it's all about me. He's saying, hey kids, I want you to use your gifts and your talents and abilities to not just think about you. I want you to use your talents and your abilities to make a difference, to go serve somebody else. What's he doing? He's leaving a legacy with children that are not self-consumed, but others consumed about leveraging. How do I leverage what God has given me so that I can serve somebody else? Hey, kids, watch me do it. Hey, kids, you go do it. And do you know what happens when they begin to serve and bless other people? They experience profound joy. Profound joy when you leverage what God has given you, not for just for you, but to serve and bless other people. You experience joy and peace. And it's amazing. It's an amazing thing. Jesus said, it is better to give than it is to receive. Better. Kingdom work. And we have 5 opportunities for families to get together to serve and bless our community. You can go on the app and you can sign up. There's a bunch of them. We're even going to have a parade. There's 5 different events in the next 2 months, and it's going to take a lot of us. And it can be a family affair, and all the family can rally around. The kids can serve and bless the kids, and the adults can bless and serve other people. We have 5 opportunities, plus a parade, plus a Christmas service coming up in a very short time where we have an opportunity to impact hundreds and hundreds of people, and we can do it as a family, modeling. Well, no, Eric, I just want to go on a mission trip 10,000 miles away, and I want to spend, it's going to cost $10,000 and 10,000 miles away. You don't have to. You can make a difference now. You don't have to wait. There's a mission field all around you. I'm not anti-mission trips. I've been on a boatload of them. Love it. But what about the mission field right here? Surrounded, thousands and thousands. So if you haven't signed up, I'm going to encourage you to do that. Travis made this giant, beautiful wheel. He spent a lot of money and a lot of time and energy, made this incredible big spin the wheel, and you get a candy or prize, and it's going to be amazing. Another thing that we do need is candy. So we only have one more Sunday. We're going to be passing out thousands. We'll be in the community October 24th. There will be probably 1,000 people. Franklinton the next day, which is Saturday, October 25th. We need a boatload of candy. If you bring candy next week, bring a bunch. By that back door, Dean, raise your hand. See where Dean is? Right there. Thanks, Dean. Right underneath Dean, there's a basket. Bring candy next week so that we can bless the community. Serve. Bring candy and sign up to serve. And bring your kids. When we moved here to plant a church, we sat around the dinner table and I said, hey, family, 4 kids. We're going to plant a church. And you get to play a critical role in impacting people. And I'm going to ask you to serve. I'm going to ask you to roll up your sleeves. Get there early and sacrifice. And guess what they still do? Serve, bless, others focused. As a dad, dude, home run, baby. I'm so proud of my family and how they love and serve others. Watch them. It's a beautiful thing. Parents, you have an opportunity to influence your kids, because more is caught than is taught. So what are they catching from you? Selflessness or generosity? Quick to be generous. Stingy? It's all about me. Generosity. Let's leave legacies. Selfishness is just ugly. Self-centeredness is just ugly. And there's varying levels of it. But what a beautiful thing to bless others. So next Sunday, bring candy. Let's sign up to serve. Collaboration starts where you stand. Above the horse gate, the priest repaired each in front of his own house. They didn't wait for a platform. They didn't wait for the spotlight. They didn't go on a mission trip. They walked out their front door and started with the people that they were around. See, God wants to use you to impact the people that you work with and your neighbors and your family members and the people that you were around. You're around so many people that are hurting. You have no idea the struggle and the deep pain that some people that are all around you are facing. You have no idea. They are smiling on the outside, but they are crumbling on the inside. And God placed them next to you so that you could be a blessing to them. To love them, to serve them. The power to build together. See, Nehemiah didn't build this by himself. It wasn't just Nehemiah and a hammer. He just didn't do that. No, what did he do? He boldly asked the people, hey, let's partner together and let's rebuild this thing. Let's partner together and let's do this. And so today, right now, I'm going to ask you to consider joining the launch team. So you're going to take out your app and take out the phone. Those of you that want to, I had to sign up this morning. And so if you don't fill this out, I'm under the idea that you're still processing or you're not sure if you want to be part of the launch team. I had to do it this morning. Kevin's going to do it. Laura's going to do it. Everybody else is going to do it. You got to go on your thing and then click on it that you want to join the launch team. If you're here and you want to be part of it, I want to encourage you to click that, sign up for that to be part of the launch team, because our goal is to prepare for a launch in the end of January 2026 together so that we can make a great difference. We want to have 2 services where we can reach, worship one and serve one, because why? The power of all of us is far greater than any one of us. Power of all of us. And our goal is to have 150 people on the launch team, adults and kids on the launch team together prior to the launch at the end of the new year. And so I'm inviting you to do that. Sign up on the app. If you did sign up and you want to be part of that, we have a launch team training at my house at 6:30, not 6, 6:30 this Thursday night. Hopefully you can make that. Eric, why does it matter? Let me give you just a couple stories that I've personally witnessed. Now I'm going to change the names for disclosure. Mac was divorced. Divorced, living for years and years under this crushing weight and this guilt and this shame of what I have done. Living every day of his life with this overwhelming feeling that I have to be sad. I have to be remorseful because of the choice that I made. This lifelong penance. Every day feeling sad, despite countless hundreds and hundreds of times of pleading for forgiveness. Mac felt obligated to prove his remorse to God, to others, and to himself. Mac actually made the statement, God could never use me after what I've done. I can't be happy. I can't be joyful. My lot in life is sadness, proving that I know what I did was wrong. Until he started attending Wellspring, until he got into a small group, a life group, with people that loved him as he was, but loved him too much to leave him there, and they spoke truth into his life. Because when you're stuck in an area of life, there's an absence of truth. Because you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you. Mac was able, because of community, to receive love and grace. Jesus was 100% grace and 100% truth. Grace and truth. And he heard truth because he was in community. And it radically changed his life. And now, today, hundreds and hundreds of people are finding Jesus and finding freedom because his life was radically changed because of the church. Doing what the church is supposed to do. Frank was an atheist. Frank had filled with doubts and questions. He struggled to find life and purpose. but he attended an outreach event, a community outreach event, like we're doing like one of the five. He attended a community outreach event, and as a result of attending an outreach event, he started attending church. He still had doubts. He doubted for months. He doubted for years. He attended. He was part of a small group that accepted him and said, this is a safe place to question. This is a safe question to bring your doubts. And then several years, sitting across the table from Frank, I was reminding him of how much God loves him. And with tears flowing down his eyes, he trusted Jesus as his Lord and Savior. And it changed his life. And he got baptized, and it changed his wife's life, and she got baptized. But it all started with a community outreach event where the church got out of the four walls and was with the community, being the hands and the feet of Jesus. Fred and Sally were good people, but they were lonely, they were aimless, and they were purposeless until they attended church, were part of a life group, started using their gifts. And if we brought Fred and Sally on this stage right here and gave them the microphone, there would be tears that would be flowing from their eyes because they would be sharing about how much Jesus changed their life because the local church did what the local church is supposed to do. And I could keep going, but I can't. See, Wellspring wants to be an overflowing, impactful place here, near, and far. Here, when we say here, we're talking about the Youngsville and Wake Forest and Franklinton and Lewisburg area that we want to target, and we're having community outreach events in these areas to be able to reach those people here, near. We're talking about the state of North Carolina, and we want to be able to be a hub. We partnered with the Carolina Movement with the goal of planting 100 churches in 100 counties in the state so that we can reach our state, and that we as a church, after we grow and get some momentum, that we can become a hub that will reach others' churches, that we can start small groups up in Lewisburg or Oxford. We can start some small groups up in that and start grow those, and then we can start a campus up there, and then we can launch a church in those areas, that we can become a hub that can reach from here all the way up into the border of Virginia. Why? Because they desperately need Jesus. It's not just about relaunching a church, it's relaunching a movement that will impact all the way north, all the way up until the state, here, near, and then beyond that. We want to plant churches in highly persecuted countries. We support orphans in Ethiopia. Listen, when we say give, it doesn't just stay here financially. It takes money to accomplish ministry. Give. Give. It matters. It matters. It takes resources to do all of these things. The collaboration brings multiplication. The power of all of us is far greater than any one of us. I love the message in Ephesians chapter 1 reminding us why this matters. Why does this matter? Listen, Ephesians 1, I love this paraphrase. It says this. It says the church you see is not peripheral to the world. No, the world is peripheral to the church. The church is Christ's body in which he speaks and acts, in which he fills everything with his presence. God's passion is his church, living on mission, doing what the church is supposed to do. And the impact is profound. The church stands not on the sidelines in history. No. The church stands at the center of God's activity. And I'm going to ask you to join. I'm going to ask you to partner with it. I'm going to ask you to sign up. I'm going to ask you to serve. I'm going to ask you to sacrifice. I'm going to ask you to leave your comfort zone and roll up your sleeves, because there's a world we got to reach. So many other stories of life change. And you get a front row seat to be part of it. But will you? Will you? Let's do this. Let's go get it. It matters. It matters. Would you bow your heads with me and just, oh, Father, you're so good to us. We thank you and we praise you. You are good. You are a good, good Father. Your way is the best way. Your great passion is your church. And so, Father, as we gather as a launch team on Sunday mornings, I pray that you would prepare our hearts and that you would help us to give us wisdom, give us favor to be able to reach our city. And who do you know? Who do you know that needs to show up next week? There's an invite card on your seat. Who do you know that you need to invite? Who do you know that needs to be part of the launch team? Because it takes all of us, collaboration, all of us collaborating with different set of gifts and talents and abilities so that we can partner together to make a difference.